Welcome, friends. So happy to be here again to do another energy clearing with SRT. We are getting the group prep to work. Usually I do that prep before, and prep to work means just in preparation, clearing levels of consciousness, clearing all blocks and interferences out of the way, making sure we're working with the group's high self. It's always a pleasure to be able to do this work, so thank you so much for joining. We're getting the group prep to work, and this is a quantum clearing, so all you have to do is set your intention to receive the work 100% and to make sure you play through the end so that you get the completion of the work accepted at all levels of being. And there's, like I said, this is a group clearing, so it clears sort of at a superficial level. And if you'd like a deeper clearing for your challenges specifically, please contact me on my website. And I think we are there. So show me, Spirit, what is the level of consciousness of the group? I think we need to raise the level of consciousness of the group. And this is on my chart 3. And the system is SRT, Spiritual Response Therapy. So it works with a pendulum and a set of charts. So I'm still getting here. Can you clear that, please? Thank you. We've got some blocks and interferences. We're going to clear that for everyone. Nothing ever to be worried about. Spirit knows what to clear. Okay, the level of consciousness is raising. But there is a block somewhere here. Where are we looking at? At universal God consciousness. Please clear. Clear through this block. Clear all the bodies and all the minds. So yes, we're working with chart 3, and SRT, Spiritual Response Therapy, works with a pendulum and a special set of charts. And most of the charts are copyrighted, so if you're ever, hi Kristen, thanks for coming. If you're ever interested, this work is so powerful, you may look up the Spiritual Response Association, which you can find all that information on my YouTube channel in the description. And there we go. Consciousness now is raising. Awesome. You can look up Spiritual Response Association. They offer classes all over the world. It's a very, very powerful work by Robert Dutzler. And he has some books on Amazon so that you can maybe even teach yourself. But the work is copyrighted, and I think the charts are backwards. So I'm just going to be working here to do the work. We are going to clear. This is this to get the group prepped, or are we moving into the clearing already? We want to move into the clearing, but first I want to check. So the title for clearing today is our clearing is working on clearing our unsupportive beliefs, perceptions, judgments, behaviors, patterns. And I was inspired by Spirit through my own clearing session this morning because I've been working on some goals of mine and getting clarity and moving past the block. So we usually want to do these things in our life, and then sometimes they don't get done. And it's like, okay, well, what's blocking me? And as I got through this, I received the information that some of my habits and my patterns were blocking me. And so I did a bunch of clearing on that, and they told me, do this. You're welcome, John. Hi, thanks for coming. Spirit said to do this for the group because a lot of us are creating new routines for ourselves, wanting to develop new habits for ourselves, and we always have to work with those at a human consciousness level, at this 3D human level. We have to work on this as well. But Spirit's going to clear the big stuff, the subconscious mind, the energetic body, the emotional body. And it can clear habits and behaviors, but we still have to make those changes ourselves. We have to be more conscious, and that's something we're going to work on too. So we're going to check the positive that the group has on moving past their habits and behaviors, and the positive value is about 10%. a little bit less, which is pretty normal, and the negative, which would be the blocks and the stuff that we need to clear out, which is 100%. And the level of consciousness the group has on this, it's rooted where? Somewhere, again, at the universal God consciousness on chart 3. So we're going to start clearing, and usually they go straight into a clearing session, into the clearing while we're getting ready. And unless something needs research, they just begin clearing. And I can tell how much energy is usually about the weight of the spin of the pendulum. Sometimes I see pictures or I hear things while I'm working and connecting with my higher self, my team, which is working with the group's higher self and your spiritual team as well, to access this information in the quantum field. So this work can clear any time that anyone watches the video, which is great. So I'm always uploading these to YouTube, and on YouTube I also am uploading lots of other videos, and they are still clearing. So if you hadn't had a chance to look in the discussion on this Facebook Live underneath, I looked up some things about, just at the human level, what do we need to do, right? So becoming conscious of our habit, what are the thoughts? Being conscious of our beliefs, and like noticing when you're about to make a choice, say you're gonna work on cleaning up your diet, and it's like, okay, am I gonna have a donut, or am I gonna have some healthier snacks? So we have to make a choice at that point. And some days it's easier than others. This I know well. And other times it could be, the bacteria and our gut biodome has a balance as well that may be dictating some of our choices. So, okay, that is clear. So on habits, patterns, and behaviors, Spirit, for the group, what is blocking specifically everyone from making the choices? So these are your specific things and the changes that you want to make in your own life. What habits and patterns and beliefs, judgments and perceptions are blocking you from making those? And I'm getting, what are we getting? Chart 7? No, what are you showing me here? 6B? Are you showing me 6B or the emotion code map of consciousness? Okay, they're showing me and the emotion code, which is the Barbara Brennan book. I like to add charts to my charts from SRA. I think we worked on this last time. So we're working on the emotional body. Now your emotions can be trapped in any part of your body. Any part of your body. Let's see. We are going to clear the small intestine, the spleen. So we're going to clear the energies of vulnerability from the heart, heartache from the heart, efforts unreceived from the heart. We're going to clear insecurity, and from the spleen and stomach we're going to clear failure, hopelessness, right? Because sometimes we just feel like we failed on our goals. Okay, let's clear that. Anything else on the spleen or stomach? Low self-esteem, lack of control. They're moving to the lung. We're going to clear confusion and grief. What else are we clearing? Anything on the emotion code? No. Okay, so that's the emotional body. That is cleared. Next, we are going to work on the lower part of the back and the sacral area, the root, working on survival. It's a feeling that we won't survive. Let's clear fear. Anything else here? What else? Anything on the emotional energy centers of the body? No. Okay. So we're working on clearing our habits, our patterns, our behaviors. What is blocking the group from making those changes? 6A. Abandonment, anger, energies of cruelty, energies of doubt, doom, despair, energies of failure, right? Because we might have tried before and we didn't quite make it. And we do have a tendency to just be really hard on ourselves. Clear guilt and frustration. Clear conflict, rejection, negativity. Clear complaining. Clear child abuse. Okay, that's clearing. Okay. What is blocking the group from making the necessary changes in their patterns, in their habits, and their behaviors? We're going to clear the I am level consciousness programs on chart 15. Is that a mind virus? Yes. Let's clear the mind virus. And there's all types of viruses. Usually we're used to physical viruses, but we're finding out there's energetic viruses, there's psychic viruses, there's viruses in the mind, which is just a replication of something, right? Just like exponential. And that is some higher level blocks that me and a friend have been working on. It's very interesting kind of thing, really at an ethereal level. So let's clear the ethers as well and all mind viruses. Can you tell me what % has that been cleared? 100%. Excellent. Anything else on this chart? No. Okay. Clearing all the charts and lists, Alpha to Omega. Okay, what specifically do we need to clear? We're going to clear higher level blocks. We're going to clear refining consciousness, spiritual realm programs, lower level blocks, clear final assurance. And these are some of the higher level charts, usually past 1 through 12. I really don't have to look at them. And since these are sample clearings, these are just really general superficial clearings, so take what resonates and leave the rest. I don't usually have to look at them unless I get the impetus that I need to look at something, or they'll show it to me for the second time. So clear the standard 11 programs, clear the new one universe, clear spirit energy programming, and they want me to look at that, and soul energy programming, charts 11 and 12. So they're showing me rabbit holes, which are always fun little places that we go and get lost. We just go, our minds just goes. And we can do that with anything. We do that on the internet scrolling a lot. So we want to fill up all those rabbit holes and get everybody out, and then redirect our minds. Anything else here? No. What about chart 12? We're going to clear dysfunction of God consciousness at spirit level, dysfunction of spirit by error consciousness, dysfunction of energy by emotions. Make sure you clear hundreds of thousands of those, spirit. I can feel that it's pretty heavy energy. Attitude. So we may, I'm going to ask to clear the attitude, our attitude and the group's attitude, and something maybe we might need to redirect our mind or listen to what we're saying about ourselves, about changing these patterns and habits, and we might want to rework our perception and change our attitude towards these things and give ourselves grace. It's not easy to make changes because a lot of times there's so many factors influencing some of those behaviors, whether it's, childhood patterns, some trauma we may have experienced, like I said, our biological biodome, the gut flora, if it's related to your diet, or you tried things before because our brain tells us, no, we can't do that, or even if it's something new. Our egos like to keep things the same. And so anything that will change or challenge the status quo, the ego will fight for its survival. So give yourself forgiveness and grace, And then just try again. Just try again. Okay, we're going to clear some archetypes, which are great because that's usually like a pattern. And then we're going to go to, let's go to that one first, and then you're going to do, well, I'll come back and check. Okay, 8A, we're going to clear the maternal and the paternal archetype. So that is, maternal is the need to, or the ability to nourish and nurture. That's like the mom energy. And the father energy is the masculine active principle to be able to make the changes. We're going to clear the critical parent. Let's rework those archetypes, because criticism, only if it's constructive does it really help us. You know, we're hard enough on ourselves and life is hard enough. We don't need to be punishing ourselves or limiting ourselves or talking to ourselves critically. So let's clear for compassion. We're going to clear the inner child. We're going to clear the student. There may be some things that we need to learn. Let's get everybody educated. Maybe they need some education and understanding about how these changes, please educate everyone how these changes are really going to support a happier, healthier, more fulfilling, more satisfying life. So we're going to clear the, what are we clearing? The temptress. I love that. That's one I wrote in my charts. The temptress is like, what is tempting us to eat the donuts? What is tempting us to like go to the movies in the middle of the day instead of working on our projects? Clear escapism. I know that one well. Clear blocks to taking responsibility, to understanding, to noticing the choice points, to noticing our actions and behaviors. So what is blocking us? Just clearing, just clearing. Sometimes we don't need to know, and that's the great thing about this work too. We don't need to know. Sometimes we might want to know, but since these are general clearings, we're not digging too deep. When we work with, when I work with clients one-on-one, we dig a little deeper for sure. And that's what I was doing with myself. It's like, well, why am I not, you know, is it procrastinating? Am I stalling? Why am I not able to make these changes? And I found some really deep stuff for myself from childhood, some patterns, some things that my parents told me, and I was able to clear that out. So we are going to clear, what are we clearing? And are you showing me there's some extra souls? Let's remove them, send them to the most right and perfect place. Clear soul family. Now we're going to, are you showing me chart 4? Chart 4, programs. So there are programs, programs of death. And on my chart I wrote, is this actual death or is this death as in change? Because anytime you are really replacing and changing things, it's kind of like a death. That's a transition. And that's what I'm getting, transition. So clear death and change and transition programs for the group. Please educate the group on the changes that would be supportive to make, and let's grieve the loss, because it's like we're losing an old part of ourselves. Isn't that interesting? Like, you don't think about that. It's like this, because a lot of times that part of ourselves that we're losing, or that's dying or transitioning or that needs to change, it is usually part of our ego, and it's part of our survival. It's like a coping mechanism. That's something that has kept us safe. It's like, or maybe it's emotional eating, or that's the only example I can think of right now. Sorry, I'm sure you can think of other examples, but it's like, it's a death, and it's hard to let go of that, because some of that has really kept us alive. It's kept us safe. So please educate that there are better ways. And now we're going to clear imprints, identification, inheritance, and fear. So those are 4 major programs. So that's the spirit level, clear spirit level. Are there any specific imprints that we can clear that would be helpful for the group? Yes, tens, hundreds, or thousands. Thousands. Please clear the thousands upon thousands of imprints. And those could be like things that people tell us. It's like, oh, you can't do that. You'll never amount to anything, whatever. And none of that's true, but it does register. It registers here. So we're going to clear those out. We're going to clear future lives. So let's clear our future life and those places, because we have so much potential. There's infinite potentiality, future, past, present, all these places of where we can go, and all the things that we want to live and experience and be and become. So let's clear for our future to be bright and loving and satisfying and fulfilling and love, so that we can bring more joy to our own lives and that of others. And we're going to clear some trauma, experienced trauma lives rooted in past lives and parallel universes. So let's clear all the trauma that is blocking us from noticing our behaviors and being able to make the changes that we need to. Anything else to clear, heal, or do for the group on this? I'm getting a no, but I do want to check some more numbers. I want to check our readiness, our willingness, and our ability. So what percent does the group now have on making changes in our habits and behaviors, in our patterns, beliefs, judgments? I'm getting 100% positive, which is awesome. Good work. Thanks for letting this clear. And the negative is 0. Excellent. That's what we want. And then I would really like to know what percent ready is the group to noticing their behavior so that we can change our habits. It's almost at 100. It's about 95. Readiness, 95. Willingness, about 75, 80, and ability. So 70%. So you can see there's lots of different ways to ask these questions. So that's what we want to do. Sometimes we want to ask the questions in a different way. What percent, let's clear. Yeah, we already asked. Clear for readiness, for willingness, and ability. Look at all the bodies, all the minds, all aspects of being, programs, reason, causes, energies, the physical, the mental, the emotional, the spiritual, the energetic, clear in relation to or an effect of, in collectively or in combination. Look at the big picture and look at any of the stories that we may have. And Alpha to Omega circle and 9 stacks. So they are wrapping up the clearing. Like I said, our clearings, these group clearings are just samples, and they're doing an Alpha to Omega, which, you know, have about 32 charts plus the ones I've made, and there's about 200 charts outside what I have physically here, and plus whatever Spirit and my higher self team knows to do. Thanks, John. Your donations are always appreciated so very much. Thank you so much. Cross check, wrap up, mop up. Let's see, what percent are we free? Free. What percent is the soul free? Let's get the soul free. 100%. What percent ready? 100. Willing, able. Awesome. We're at 100. Good job. Excellent. The work is being integrated. Notice how you feel in the next week as you make these changes. Sometimes these clearings, usually there's always something that's some little tiny subtle shift. There may be epic shifts, which is awesome. I'd love to hear back from you if you have noticed some differences from the clearing, some space that has been opened up. And whenever we open up this space, we want to put something positive back in there. So I'm going to ask what Spirit is going to program in so that to support this clearing. We are going to have programmed in creativity. I love that. We're going to program in freedom. We're going to program in constructiveness. We're going to program in happiness, health, success, love of self, and love of life. Perfect. So all of that is for you. Oh, you're feeling lighter. Thanks for letting me know. I love that. That is some of the things that I experienced too with this work. Just feel lighter and more clear. Because this stuff is heavy. It is. And when we clear it, lighter, happier and happier, brighter and brighter. So thank you all for coming. As always, I really appreciate your presence. I appreciate your support, your willingness to trust the work. And thank you for doing your part. Thank you for doing the work, always. And we'll see you next time. Thanks again. Bye-bye.